Okay, this is a new section in your notes. This is called change of base. So change of base is going to be a formula that we're going to use. And why do we need to change the base? Usually that's the question we get. Well, the reason we need to change the base is because right now we only have a select few cases that we can solve. And what if our bases are different when solving? So we have that issue that we run into. So we'll talk about changing those bases into something that we can solve. And then tomorrow we're going to talk more about solving with that tomorrow and the next day. So for instance, if we have log base 3 of 9, this is one of the select few ones we can solve, because what can happen is we can write this as log base 3 of 3 squared. Log base 3 of 3 is 1, so our answer here is 2. But here's the issue. What if we have log base 2 of 9? You cannot write 2 to a power to get 9. That's not how that works. So what would we do? We'd be stuck. What about log base 3 of 5? You cannot write 3 to a power to get 5. So we'd be stuck here too. So those are the problems we run into, and that's the reason why we need the change of base formula. So to change the base of a logarithm, here's what you have to do. If you have a logarithm with base b, so whatever they gave you, of a number a, you write it as one logarithm of your new base of a over that logarithm of your new base of b. So a goes on top, little b goes on bottom. So for example, if we wanted to take one of these that we said, what the heck do we do? Log base 2 of 9. If we want to change that base, we would want a base of 3 because 9 is 3 squared. So we would say that this is log base 3 and log base 3. Sometimes it's easier to set that up. The 9 would go on the top and the 2 would go on the bottom. Okay, so that's what's happening here. That's how you apply this change of base formula. So we're going to do a little bit more practicing with this formula, so keep it close for reference. What we're going to do is a little bit, it's not as heavy in the math, it's more just conceptual. It's what the Cambridge really likes to do with logarithms. So if log base 3 of x is m, so if we can get log base 3 of x in this problem, we can shorten it to m. Express the following in terms of m. Well, our first one, log base x of 3. So this is different because we need a log base 3 of x, so it's the opposite way around. So to change this, we would need to have log base, well, we want log base 3. So when we use our change of base formula, we have a top and bottom with our new log base. The big 3 goes on the top. The little x goes on the bottom. And then we look at what they gave us. They said log base 3 of x is m. Well, here's a log base 3 of x. That'll be m. Log base 3 of 3, they didn't tell me what that is, but that is a property that I know. When the base and the number you're plugging in match, it's just 1. So our simplified here in terms of m is 1 over n. Let's look at another one. We have log base x of 9. So again, the other way around, but we're using a little bit of a different number here. So we're going to use our change of base formula. We still want a base of 3. So this is log base 3 is what we want. So that's going to be on the top and bottom of our change of base formula. 9 goes on top. X goes on the bottom. Now we have to write this in terms of m. So we kind of want to get rid of our logarithms. So we see on the bottom we have m again. Log base 3 of 9, well, we can write that as log base 3 of 3 squared, which will just be 2 over n. So again, in terms of n. Then let's look at another one. We'll have to combine some of the things we know for this one. So we have log base 27 of 3x. So let's look at this. First, let's change the base. We don't want 27 as our base. We want 3, because that's what they said in the problem. So we have log base 3, log base 3. This goes on the top. This goes on the bottom. Now we have to write this in terms of m. But I don't just have a log base 3 of x. I have a log base 3 of 3x. Well, there's a couple of properties that I can do here. On the top, I have two things that are multiplied inside one logarithm, so I can write them as two separate logarithms, log base 3 of 3 plus log base 3 of x. I can write them as adding two separate logarithms. On the bottom, I can write 27 as 3 to a power. I can write this as log base 3 of 3 cubed. So on the top, log base 3 of 3 is 1, plus log base 3 of x is m. Log base 3 of 3 cubed is 3. So that's an equivalent form of that, using that substitution that they've given us. So if you have any additional questions and you're in class, feel free to ask me. You have classwork now, which is posted on, I guess I'll scroll back down, which is posted on Canvas. Hopefully you can check that off in class, and then you would not have any homework today. So that's it for today.